Get off, God. I thought I put this playlist on shuffle. And it's just going down the list. What's the next song? This ain't on no damn shuffle, man. This is not on shuffle. Shuffle this. Shuffle the playlist. Shuffle is on. This is a lie. I'm being lied to right now. Wow. I'm being lied to as we speak. I can't believe it. No. Turn this off. We're gonna try this again. Okay. Go to the playlist. View full playlist, right? Okay. Now, shuffle the music. Oh my gosh. It went right back to Alright. Let's go completely out of this because it's bugging on me. Let's see. Alright. Okay. Put this up. Right. Now. You feel me? Playlist. Now, if this goes for another view full playlist, the full thing, shuffle the playlist. I swear if it go, bro. Not possible. All right, now let's see what happens right here. What's the next song? Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on, y'all? We're here today. We're here to talk about Switch 2 stuff because it is the week of the Switch 2. And we are excited about the Switch 2. We must talk about the Switch 2. And we must also try to catch the algorithm. You know what I mean? That's exactly what everybody's trying to do. Everybody trying to be seen. You feel me? So we got to play the smart game. You feel me? So, with that being said, the combination of the algorithm, right? We're excited about Switch 2 on top of it, and we got to talk about it. We just have to discuss it. You feel me? All this has to be here. So we gotta discuss these things. Now, if you like what you see here, you feel me? Like, comment, subscribe, you feel me? Share it with everybody. Also, if you would like to support Monthly Gamer, look down into my description. All my payment options are there, you feel me? I got PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and Patreon. Patreon is a subscription. If you want to go ahead, go over there. You can drop $1 in there. There's a $1 tier, which is the thank you tier, and then you got $5. The $5 tier, which is that's your if you want me to play any video game you want me to play, go ahead, leave a message and drop a $5 in the $5 tier. Leave me a message of what game you want me to play. I'll play it on stream as long as it's YouTuber friendly. It's gotta be YouTube friendly. All right, cool. All right, let's see. I mean, we 2 minutes in, man. So, like, if people gonna pop up, go ahead, pop up. See, look, now I put this playlist, all right, on shuffle again, all right, and I'm just getting all like Sonic Game Gear games, okay? I don't know what that's about. Okay. Now, let's go here. Let's check this out. What we got to talk about? We're talking about the top Switch 2 games you can get. Okay. Now, obviously, if we're talking about people, there was a couple conversations that did like spawn this discussion. Oh, I kicked something over. Hold on. A couple things that spawned this discussion, man. I was on Twitter today, right? And naturally, you go to Twitter, you know, for honest to God, decent discussion and, you know, that type of stuff, right? I go in there, man, and then there's always a new thing of the day, man, where people are like, yo, what's the Switch 2 has no games. It has nothing to play on day one. It has nothing to play. And I'm like, you know, this is sounding mightily familiar, okay? I'm like, this is sounding exactly like the same discussion that we were having for Switch 1. When the Switch 1 came out, and everybody was like, there's no games to play. There's nothing to play. And then the more games that kept on coming up and coming up and coming up and coming up and keep on coming out, right? People were like, oh, people kept on moving goalposts and stuff, right? They kept on being like, yo, this game, this was a game that was on the Wii U, so it doesn't count. Well, this one's an upgrade of a Wii U game, that doesn't count. Oh, this game isn't a first-party Nintendo game, so it doesn't count. It's like, dude, just stop it. And then at some point, those arguments just went away because there were way too many games for them to make that stupid argument. So people are starting to make that argument again. So here's what we're gonna do. This is not the reason why I made the list, by the way. Let's see. Let's grab. I got a lot of tabs up. Let's grab this. Let's do this. Whoops. The whole thing, dude. The whole thing, dude. The whole thing, dude. Thank you. By way of MMORPG.com, we're going to look at a couple of games that are coming out for the Switch 2. These are games that are going to come out later down the line, but these are right now I'm going to discuss the games that are going to come out on launch day that you can play on launch day. All right. And then we're going to go from there. But like I said, the guy brought up the question. He said, there's a guy he was like, realizing we paid $500 to play only one new Switch 2 game on release. Right? And I know what you can make that argument. Sure. Whatever. One new Switch 2 game on release. Okay. Let's see. We've got plenty of games to play and a lot of backwards compatible games to play also. You know what I mean? So we have a whole litany of games behind us that are getting upgraded and look better on Switch 2. And then on top of that, we are getting we're getting games, and then we're getting games like within that range and within that zone, like a very close zone within the launch day. You feel me? So somebody saying, I spent $500 to just play one game. Dude, when you're spending $500 on something, you're making an investment, okay? That you're not just buying it and just playing it for that one day. It's not like concert tickets or something like that. You know what I mean? Like where you spend it and then you're just using it for that one day and then that's it. Be smart. Come on. But anyway, let's get the obvious one out of the way. Let's talk about Mario Kart World. And then obviously Mario Kart World, that's the big one. That's the one that everybody's like looking at or whatever. And everybody's big contention was that, it's $80. Everybody's like, it's $80 or whatever. It's like, I'm not going to pay $80 for Mario Kart World. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you're thinking about getting Mario Kart World and you're thinking about getting the Switch, buy the bundle. It's not like you have the Switch 2 already and then Mario Kart came out. You know what I mean? You look at it and you're like, oh, that's the bundle. And the bundle is like $30 less than $80. So get the bundle. Get the bundle. If you're worried about the price, get the bundle. If you want physical, I can't help you there. Sorry. You are just going to have to chuck down $80. There's nothing to it. I mean, there's no way around that. But, this game looks fun. Like, look at it. Like, it looks fun as hell. There's so many things that are different about it than your regular standard Mario Kart that people are not really taking into account. I don't know about that food stuff. I don't understand the food stuff. I don't get the food stuff, but everything else is like, yo, if you've ever played Forza or like a Forza Horizon game or any of the games where you just kind of, it's all open worldish, right? It's just like that, only it's with Mario Kart. So it's going to have like way more personality and way more fun things and hidden things and all that stuff or whatever. That's all it is, man. Like, you just go around, you ride around, you feel me? You see tracks, ride around in the tracks, you see secrets, find the secrets or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's a big world, you know what I mean? It's not, and then, you know, people are, you know, again, another argument people are making is like, oh, it's got all these, it doesn't have the same amount of tracks as, you know, the previous Mario Kart games or whatever. It's like, listen, you're driving around in the entire world. Like, that's the whole, that by itself is more racetrack than anything that we've played before. You know what I mean? So anyway, regardless, this is your main primary target game. You feel me? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we've been playing it since 2012, 2013. And it's just time, man. It's time for a new Mario Kart. You know what I mean? Time for a new Mario Kart. Time to play a new Mario Kart. It looks fun, looks bouncy, it looks fast, it looks frantic, incredible. You playing with all these crazy people, whatever. Like, you playing with all these crazy characters and all that. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's nonsensical, and it's all gonna be nuts. You feel me? Jess says, "Hey, what's up, Jess? What's going on?" I've heard nothing from my playlist other than Game Gear Sonic games. Good Lord. Until I said something. The playlist heard me. But yeah, this is your number one target game that you want to get for the Switch 2. Obviously, that's the main draw. Mario Kart is Nintendo's go-getter. It is their money maker. It's their money shaker. Why would you not put this? Like, there's so many people that are just like, I've seen so many people online. People are just angry about the prices. Understandably so, but they're also getting to a point where it's getting irrational. You're being irrational, and people are like, I've seen people be like, Mario Kart is not a system seller, and I'm like, yes, it is. Like, what are you talking about? But anyway, we're done talking about Mario Kart. All right. So obviously, like I said, that's the first thing you go to. That's the first game that your first target game that you're going to for your Switch 2. You feel me? And then we can just slowly go down this list, okay? Now, Bravely Default can kind of get a mention. It's kind of where is it? I have a thing right here. You feel me? I got a thing down here. You feel me? Put that up on the screen. You feel me? Show our Bravely Default. You feel me? Bravely Default, a series originally from the 3DS. They all have been all remastered, up-res, and all that stuff, whatever. Now it still has like crunchy 3DS graphics, you know, obviously because it came on the 3DS. But it's a decent. It came out at a time where, like, you know, traditional RPGs were not really prevalent, and this one came out and everybody was like, yo, this you know, like, dang man, I wish like games would go back to this sometimes, man. And yeah, it's cool. It's a cool little game. I don't have too much to say about it, but that's another game you should keep on your radar. You feel me? Let's see, go back to nope, go back one. You feel me? What else is down this list? Let's see real quick. Jess said, I'm good. I've decided to change the shipping names for Shadow and Elena. The new name is Shadlena. All right, gotcha. I will keep that in mind. Let's see. Civilization 7, you feel me? Civilization 7. That's the wrong thing. I wasn't supposed to click on that. Let's get a look on Civilization 7 so people have an idea of what they want to buy. Where did my thing go? Uh-oh. I'm about to say, no, I didn't. I know I didn't log all the way out of it. Civilization 7. We're gonna pull this up. This is your This is your real-time strategy game. It's very popular. You feel me? I really don't have a lot to say about it either because like I haven't played it. I haven't played a lot of it. So not too much to say. But like Civilization 7, real-time strategy. You want to get a good. They're showing on the screen. You want to get a good feel and function and use out of your mouse function for your Switch 2. Go for this game. Nice real-time strategy. Nice, you know, pretty much like conquer all the worlds. Make sure you try to conquer the world and all that. And yeah, kind of like control like the destiny of how things like the world's outcome came. Like if you look at the world stage, think about history, right? And everything that went on in history or whatever. Uh-oh, disconnected. All right, that was weird. Reconnection successful. I got this. I don't get disconnected from OBS a lot, but when it does happen, man, I start freaking out. I'm like, what the hell is happening? All right, let me see if my kilobytes per second. You going back up? All right, cool. All right, we good. Let's see. All right, now this is we'll rewind it back a little tiny bit. Cyberpunk 2077, Cyberpunk 2077. I can't talk. Storied history. You know, obviously it came out not too great, but then CD Projekt Red updated. Now it's a fantastic game for you to get for the Switch 2, especially for the Switch 2, because like, you know, people have had ways to play it portably and on a handheld, me included. I've played it on handheld before, but like majority of people have not experienced this game handheld, and playing this on the Switch 2, I would imagine like this thing is like close to ROG Ally X, which I do have. It's close to that, and like I said, playing something like this, if you haven't done it before portably, it's sometimes, man, it's almost like you can't go back. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you want your console beasts, and you want your graphics to look like stupendously crazy and all this stuff, but obviously the Switch 2 has never been like that. You feel me? The Switch is absolutely a handheld first and then a console second. So like I said, playing something with this graphical prowess in your hands, the feeling that I had playing it, doing something like that the first time was like magical, and it's hard to go back. I don't have any consoles anymore. You feel me? I have a PC and I have all handhelds that are capable of doing this type of stuff. So anything that I need that is like super intensive, I have my, PC. But other than that, I mean, like I'm telling you, when you get the choice of being like, yo, I can play this on handheld, it's fantastic, dude. Great. All right, let's see what's next on the docket. Let's see, Jess. I'm working on an episode for a new Shadow the Hedgehog animated series. The episode is called Rouge Matchmaker. It's all about her getting Shadow together with Elena. Who is Rouge's pen pal. Cool. Nice. Spider said, what game do you plan on getting on the Switch 2? Well, Spider, if you want to know the entirety of what I want to get, I have a video up already that shows all that, but obviously Mario Kart. You feel me? It's Mario Kart. That's gonna be my main. That's my main thing I'm going after. You feel me? And then let's see what's after that. What am I gonna get after that? Good question, Spider. I do plan on getting Donkey Kong Bonanza when it comes out for sure. Pretty much. I get Nintendo games, man, to get them for I get them for the Nintendo game, obviously the Nintendo first party studio games. So I'm going to be on the lookout for all of those. Anything that's already like, because I have a ROG Ally X and I also have like a PC, so like anything that's like, Cyberpunk, I'm like, I already have that. I already have that on PC and on handheld already. So I'm like, I don't need that. Same thing with Street Fighter 6 or Final Fantasy 7 or anything like that. All of those already have in a handheld fashion and on a PC. So I'm like, those type of games, I'm like, I'll go somewhere else for those because I come to Nintendo to play Nintendo. You know what I mean? But anything that's pretty much easy to like get on Nintendo, or anything that doesn't require a lot to play on a different system, I'll get on Nintendo, and then I'll also get Nintendo games. So on my list of things, like I said, it's Mario Kart World. In this release year, in my list, I'm looking at Mario Kart World, obviously, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm thinking about Kirby Air Riders. Whenever Sonic Racing Cross Worlds comes to Switch, I'll get it on the Switch. Yeah, as long as there's nothing crazy or nothing bad happens, I plan on getting Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm thinking about getting Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm keeping an eye out on the Dusk Bloods, which we're gonna cover all these. We're gonna cover all these here in a second. And I think maybe a couple other games, whatever comes out after that. But like, those are pretty much my big go-to games. Spider says Mario Kart World is definitely on my radar too. Yeah, dude. Cause like, why wouldn't it be? You know what I mean? Like I said, like the only people that should be complaining about Mario Kart, like everyone that is like, you know, oh, Mario Kart costs so much. Like, if you want Mario Kart that bad, obviously you're gonna get the bundle. You, like I said, like earlier, people speak as if they already had the Switch 2, and then Mario Kart came out, was like, it's $80, and it's like, that's not what happened. No one has the Switch 2, right? So to get the thing is, there's a bundle that's available. Get the bundle where Mario Kart is $5 less or $30 less. You feel me? Get the bundle. You know what I mean? Unless you just really, really care about physical games, which there are people that really do care about physical games. But if you're in the physical games category, there's no way of helping you. Can't be helped. You gotta drop to 80G, which it sucks, but it's just how it is. Let's see. What's next? I talked about Cyberpunk. Let's see. Deltarune. You feel me? Go to Deltarune. I play Undertale. I love Undertale. It's one of my favorite games. Deltarune didn't capture me like Undertale did, but it probably could at some point, man. Like, it'll probably catch. I've seen people be like, yo, Deltarune is dope too. I just didn't like the only thing I didn't like is like the episodic nature of it. I'm like, release all of it at once, but like they wanted to do it episodically, which that's fine. Regardless of what I think about it, that is a game that you should have on your radar if you want to look for a quirky, you know, just a quirky little RPG from a quirky guy. Just be on the lookout. Like these type of games, the games come, like the Undertale and the Deltarune games, they come from a very, you know, very, very strange guy, but like he's got some good things going on though. Dusty B in the chat says, I'm done with Pokemon. He said, I'm done with Pokemon. It just isn't my cup of tea anymore. Mario Kart, DK, Metroid, Hyrule Warriors, that's all for now. I'm a parent and don't have nearly the same amount of time as I used to. That is, I will say, dude, like I feel you on the Pokemon. I absolutely feel you on the Pokemon. But then two, the RPGs thing, man, the more responsibilities you start having, because I absolutely understand, you feel me? Like the more responsibilities you start having and all that, it's just hard to get into these like super long RPGs, man. It really is. So like I absolutely feel that, dude. There's such a time sink too. Like they're not ever like just quick. You know what I mean? So absolutely get that. But those other franchises though, especially like Pokemon lately too. Sorry, I had to look back around. Especially Pokemon lately, where like the Pokemon games have been kind of on the decline as far as quality wise. And when I saw Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, dude, I was like, the hell is this? I was like, what am I watching? I was like, this is nonsense. Like, why is this coming out of a Nintendo product that like this is coming out this scruffy like this? So I was like, I'm not playing this game. I'm not buying this game at all. Like, I will skip this whole entire thing until Pokemon gets their stuff together. You feel me? Now I will say they did just put out a trailer today for Pokemon, where they basically like cleaned up the frame rates and they cleaned up the performance on Scarlet and Violet. And now I'm a little bit more interested, but I'm gonna kind of hold off on it still, because I'm like, let me see if how much is fixed. Because I'm also like, it can't just be frame rates and performance that's fixed. You feel me? It's gotta be a little bit more than that. Dustin B says 100%. Hey, I feel you, bro. Like I said, I feel you. Also, Dusty B, you seem like you're a new person, so like a new person here. So like, if you like what you see, man, go ahead and help me out, man. Just like, comment, subscribe. You feel me? I would appreciate it, man. I'm definitely aiming for 1,000 subscribers, and I'm getting very close to. I'm dangerously close to 900. You feel me? Let's see. Jess says, I was never into Pokemon. My ex-boyfriend was a Pokemon fanatic. To be honest, we had absolutely nothing in common. I'm surprised my ex-boyfriend and I were together for 9 years. That's a whole thing that you can crack open, as far as that goes. But yeah, man, like Pokemon is, it's one of those things like I feel like you got to catch Pokemon while you're a child. You know what I mean? If you don't catch Pokemon when you're a child, it's kind of hard to get into it. Just because there's so much of it. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm playing the same songs over and this is starting to bug me. Hold on. What is this nonsense? Why am I playing the same music over and you know what? Here's what I'm about to do. Since my shuffle doesn't want to act right. So here's what I'm going to do. No. You've had your shot. No. Here's what we're gonna do. Nonsensical, I say. Go back to my... No, not my watch later, my playlist. We're just gonna start from the beginning. And it's just gonna play straight down. Good Lord. Dusty B says done and done. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. From the bottom of my heart, man. I absolutely appreciate that, man. Wait a minute, what? All right, y'all, look, my playlist is doing whatever it wants to. I'm gonna figure that out later. It's doing whatever it wants to. I don't know what's going on with that. Spider says, honestly, I haven't really been into Pokemon lately, other than Legends Arceus. I haven't really liked their games in recent years, and Legends ZA doesn't seem like it's going to be any different. I had that exact same feeling. That's why when you were asking me, I was like, I'm thinking about it, but let me see how it is. Legends Arceus was a drastic shift in just tonally and stylistically. And when I saw it, I was like, this looks completely different than anything like we've done with Pokemon. And it was like such a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? Kind of like what all the other like Switch franchises was doing at the time. Like this, it's kind of how the direction of the Switch was, where it's like, let's take a franchise and let's turn it on its head. And it seems like they're kind of continuing that trend, right? And that's pretty much that's pretty much what's going on with it. And Legends ZA, like when they showed Legends ZA, I kind of had that same sinking feeling. Like when I was watching it, it was just like it came on and it was like, it's too nice, and it's like, look at all these Pokemon, and oh hey, you're gonna have a grand old good time. And I'm like, I don't like that, man. I don't really like that. You know what I mean? Not really a fan of it. I don't like the little happy-go-lucky nice times. You feel me? Dusty Bees says L what are L at? You talking about the playlist? All right, let's go to the next game. Let's check out the next game. Let's see. Let's check out, since nobody wants to really talk about it for some reason. I had it up here. Where is it? Talk about Fast Fusion. Simple and plain. If you like F-Zero, go for Fast RMX. Is it spot on 1-for-1 F-Zero? No, but it would be. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I played Fast RMX, and when I played it, dude, I was like, like I remember back on the Switch 1, I was like highly surprised, and I was like, dude, this game is ultra sick. I know it's like another racing game, but like for real, like it's stupid fast. You feel me? And as a Sonic channel, we like stupid fast things. You feel me? So this is definitely a game you should be keeping on your radar. Dusty B says, I am such a completionist, so when I see over 1,000 Pokemon, it breaks my brain. You know what, Dusty B, I've been playing, I've gone back and I've been playing like ROM hacks of like Pokemon Red and Blue, and honestly, dude, I've been like, the fact that you only catch 150 Pokemon, dude, is such a is so like, it feels like there's so much weight has been lifted off of you. You're just like, oh, all I do is just collect 150 of them. Easy. Easy. I can do that easily. So yeah, I'm the same way, where I'm like, the newer games when they're like, catch 1,000 Pokemon and you got to do it in these ultra hyper specific ways, and I'm like, how about you go screw yourself? How about you do that? Spider said, I've been thinking about playing Power World, but never came around to it. I thought about that too. I think I wanted, like, when I saw it, I thought it was like interesting at first, and then like it wasn't Pokemon-ish. There was, well, when it first came out, there wasn't enough there. I saw like there wasn't enough material there, so I was just like, I'm gonna wait for them to add more stuff to it. And ever since then, I haven't seen enough. They haven't added enough. So I'm like, do I want to play this? I don't know. Next game, Fortnite. We all know about Fortnite. I don't need to show you any video of it. You know Fortnite. I know Fortnite. Fortnite is one of the biggest games in the world. It plays like booty on the original Switch, right? So it being on the Switch too, great. Absolutely great. I think that's huge. I think that's huge for the Switch. Now they just need to get Marvel Rivals on there. You know what I mean? Get Marvel Rivals on there. Hitman: World of Assassination. You want your spy espionage game? Go ahead, grab this game, dude. It is not like others, like it's your sneak around type of stealth game, and like those type of like Metal Gear type of, this is like the closest thing that you can get. He's got a mushroom in his hand. This is the closest thing that you can get to a Metal Gear game right now, aside from like Metal Gear actually getting ready to come out. But it's very interesting. The stealth in it is kind of like, you know, you have a small playground. You play around in that playground, and the game is like basically like, look, here's your objective. Get this dude. You gotta assassinate this dude, and then they'll just leave it to you. They'll be like, do it however you can. And then there's so many like roadblocks that are in that you gotta like kind of navigate, but it's very free form. You know what I mean? You can like go up and like, you know, take a dude out with a knife, or use poison, or, you know what I mean, just straight up just off him in the head. Infrared in the chat, he said he's here. Infrared in the chat, as always, as promised. Next game, Hogwarts Legacy is a game that you can pick up. I know I know there's controversy around this game. So if this game, obviously, you know, if this game isn't your game because of that, because of the whole J.K. Rowling thing, hey, look, live your life, you know what I mean, and make your decisions how you make them based on how you feel. Nobody's wrong. You feel me? Now, having said that, people do still like Harry Potter, and if I'm going to recommend a game, that is a game that you can get. You feel me? It is pretty good game, and it was big at the time. Still kind of is big. So there's a game that you can recommend. Next game, let's see. Now there's a lot of other games that are also out, but I'm just going to go over the games I feel I need to really take note of. Zelda. Hold on, man. Okay, I thought my play was just doing this thing again. I thought it like started repeating songs and stuff. Zelda Switch 2 edition. Switch to Breath of the Wild, switch to Tears of the Kingdom. I think I'm going to do an entire replay through of these two games, dude. I think I'm going to do that. Because the fact that you can play them with higher frame rates and everything like that, dude, like changes everything. Like with clear vision, like, you know what I mean? Like it's I think it's 1080p handheld now, and then like after, like, obviously it's gonna be higher frame rates on or not high frame rates, it's gonna be higher resolution on your TV screen. But the fact that there's higher resolution, higher frame rates, dude, I'm on it. Spider said Nintendo's getting greedier every year. Bro, Nintendo has always been greedy. They've always been greedy. I want you to know that. I want you to know that that's a whole entire, hold on, give me a second, I need some water. I want you to understand, I love Nintendo's games, but the company has always been a split of greedy and people within the company that are trying to prevent Nintendo from being greedy. And I think that we are lacking a person in, like, as much as I like the Switch and the Switch era and all that stuff, and the Switch and all, like, I'm aware of all that stuff. But there's nobody around that is kind of mitigating them on the kind of, they can be a little egregious sometimes, a little bit petty sometimes, and I get that. But at the same time, just like Dusty B says, Nintendo is not your friend. This is very simply a company that is trying to, I can see both sides of it. It's one of those companies where they are giving you a service, they're providing a service, they're providing a product. If you don't like the product, don't buy the product, and that's it. That's simple. It's as simple as that. But on the same side, you know what I mean, we need somebody like a Gunpei Yokoi, you know what I mean? Like, we need somebody that's like, yo, we need to kind of vouch for the people that, you know, think about the people that, you know, how do we need somebody with a pure, like, I'm doing this to provide fun for people, you know what I mean? And we haven't had one of those in a while, you know what I mean? There are people still in the company that do that, but like, you know, like Satoru Iwata, or like I say, Gunpei, or like Reggie, you know what I mean? Like, and Reggie was a good mouthpiece, but like Reggie was also a part of that, like, you know, hey, I'm doing this for the, you know, for the love of it, you know what I mean? Even though he did his, you know, he's a marketer, but he did his job well, you know what I mean? He's still on top of it, was like, yo, I'm a businessman, I'm gonna obviously do my job. So it's always a duality type of thing, man. But like, we don't have anybody that's like that in the company, so that's what feels like it's missing sometimes. So I get that, but then at the same time, you know, they're not a charity. Like, it's not, gaming is not altruistic. It's not a charity. So like, you know, I'm rambling anyway. Dusty B says Nintendo wants money. The devs want to make great games, but the big boys want to fill the pockets, for sure. Absolutely. And Infrared said, I'm lurking today. He lurking. Watch out, don't say nothing crazy. Don't do nothing crazy, they'll get you. But yeah, like, Nintendo want, like it's one of those things was like, the art, it's the art and the passion of it, and then there is a business aspect of it, man. And you got to understand that, like, they are, you know, people are like, you know, oh, they're being greedy, but at the same time, I'm like, I get it. But at the same time, they are a company that's trying to make money. They're there for profit. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. It's like, you got to keep that in the back of your head. Like, you have to be able to discern for yourself whether you're like, I want to spend money on this thing, or if you're like, I don't want to spend money on this thing. And that's the only way they know how to speak, dude. That's the only way they know how to speak. So, you know. Anyway, Zelda, I'm happy to revisit those things. And I've got the online, I got the Switch Online, so I can just get those for free. You know what I mean? So as long as I'm on the Switch Online, I got those for free. I can't pay for them later, and I might pay for them later when I don't feel like, later down the line when I don't feel like using the online anymore. But for right now, I'm going to definitely absolutely use the online, so I don't have to pay the $10. Another company, that's another thing too. Another company, they would have been like, nah, you paying the $10 upgrade, period. Whether you got our online service or not, you paying that money. We already talked about Mario Kart World. Switch 2 welcome tour. Now, we want to talk about the greedy part. That's a little greedy part. I'm not paying a damn thing for a tech demo. Not a cent. I don't care what this game has to offer. Somebody else will buy it. Somebody else will put it up on YouTube, and I will watch them play that. And that is a no-go for me. I don't care if this game was $5. Nope. That should have came. That is one of those things where it's like, that absolutely, even Reggie came out and he was like, that should have been a pack-in game. Puyo Tetris 2S. If you guys remember the Switch 1, launch, right? And you had a nice little decent amount of puzzle games or whatever. I know like Snipper Clips was one of them. If you were into like puzzle games and all that type of stuff, this is definitely one you want to look at. Keep a lookout for this one. If you're needing something like, like a Puyo Tetris 2. Cool little puzzle matching game. And then I also saw that there was like camera functions and stuff that you can play around with on the game. And too, I'm probably gonna pass on this game, but that's just me. But if anybody's looking for a puzzle game, obviously if you don't have one already on the Switch 1, if you're buying a Switch 2 and you're like, I'm just now buying in Puyo Tetris, I feel like this is a nice puzzle game to go to. You know what I'm saying? Dusty B said, not a damn penny is going to that should have been bundled. Hey man, you are not getting a listen to me, you are not getting a cent out of me for that game. Not a single cent. You can kiss my entire ass. Not a shot. I know games are gonna be $80, right? Games are gonna be $80, and I'll pick and choose and be like, yo, is that worth $80? Is that not worth $80? You feel me? I'll think about it. But that game, I don't care if that game was a penny. I'd be like, nope. Kiss my ass. Let's see. All right, next game. Oh shoot, I got this running at the same time. Hold on. Give me a second. Nope. We're still talking about the launch games. Sonic X Shadow Generations. That is another game. If you want to get that game, I can vouch for that game because I was just literally on stream playing the game. You feel me? I was just literally on stream playing the game. Where is it? Where I got it? I got it somewhere. Here we go. I was just on stream playing this game. Very good game. If you do not want, or if you're looking for like a platformer starting out, I think this is kind of a smart move. You don't gotta, if there's no platformer, or if you're wanting a platformer, and you don't already have a Switch or whatever, go for this game. Very good game. However, having said that, it's kind of sucky that they are not. I remember, not to call out Sam procrastinates, but he was just like, "Oh, support Sega because they make the right decisions," and we were like, brother, they have Sonic X Shadow Generations and they're not. This is exactly what I was talking about, where I was like, they're no different than any other company. You know what I mean? I'm like, they'll do the exact same thing, bro. And what I'm referring to is that they should have made an upgrade for the original Switch version to play that game. They should have had like a $10 upgrade. They have no $10 upgrade, so it's like you're stuck. If you bought the Switch version already, you're stuck with that version. If you want the new version, you got to cough up $60, and that's doo-doo. You know what I mean? Spider says Zelda's the best to go if you want to play a good puzzle game. Well, I'm talking about more like a direct puzzle game. You know what I mean? Like a direct, like a cute little puzzle game, a game where you don't want to have to go through all the other stuff. It's one of those, like, you grab it and like it's quick and easy, and it's the same kind of repetitiveness or repetition that you play over and over and over. And plus it's got multiplayer on it and all that stuff. So that's what I mean when it comes to that. But as far as like exploration and combat and puzzle, absolutely go for Zelda. Zelda is your thing. For sure. Dusty B says, "See, and I'm in Canada, so your prices are even high. So our prices are even higher. 110 is what we will be paying for Mario Kart, not in the bundle. That's nuts, dude. 110, bro. That is insane, bro. Like at that point, I'm like, I'm not. Get the bundle. If you got the bundle, get the bundle. But any game that's $100, dude, I'm very close because here's the thing about me. I do believe that there are some games that are worth that money. Not many of them, like not many of them. So for me, I feel you 100%. If I'm looking at something, I'm like, yo, this is $110, dude. I'm like, what's on it? And I'm like, all we doing is just racing around. It's just Forza. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. No. But even then, on top of it, like now, like I was like, if Mario Kart wasn't bundled in with the Switch, I probably would have been looking at Mario Kart like, I can get that. I can wait down the line and like wait for some type of like holiday discount or something, man. That's gonna be a long ass ways away. You know how Nintendo is. They don't like to discount nothing. But yeah. Spider says, sure, every company's greedy, but Nintendo represents greed more than most, if not any other. I don't know if I agree with that, Spider. And I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that to bootlick Nintendo. I've seen Nintendo gets pretty bad. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Don't get me twisted. Nintendo gets pretty bad with their practices, but other companies can get god awful. You know what I mean? And Nintendo, like, they still don't have like on their home consoles and stuff, man. They don't nickel and dime you with microtransactions and loot boxes and stuff. They don't do that type of stuff. For the most part, their games are solid, whether it's your type of cup of tea or not. Their games are functional. And there's a lot of companies out there that are like, we don't give a damn. We don't give a damn. Slap this game together and just throw it out there. You know what I mean? And make them pay $70 for it. And there's a lot of companies that are like that just they don't care. They will be like, do the bare minimum possible and then just send it out there. Dusty says, I will pay 110 for any Zelda game, but I'm like you, I'm hypersensitive to what I'm willing to pay for that much for. Yeah. Yeah, like especially like the newer Zelda games, dude. I felt like Breath of the Wild. I definitely felt like Tears of the Kingdom was definitely where I was like, Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, this is definitely worth more than what I paid for it. I felt the same thing with Smash Bros too. I was like, this feels more than what I paid for. But for the most part, man, like I said, I'm saying the same thing over again. But like for the most part, dude, I'm like, hey man, it's $100. What's on it? Grand Theft Auto 6. If Grand Theft Auto 6 is $100, I'll pay it. I will. Their track record is so stupendous that I'm like, I will buy it. I'll buy that for $100 because I know it's going to be good. You feel me? Now I'll still wait to see reviews and stuff, just in case. But if everything's good to go, and then everybody's like, "Yo, this game is fantastic," I'll be like, "I'll go in." You feel me? Let's see. Split Fiction. Split Fiction is the game right now that's the multiplayer game right now. The EA multiplayer game. I forgot the guy's name who produces them, but he pretty much knocks them out. He does these like, you know, 2-player, you know, get one person, get another person, you know, co-op type of game that I really appreciate, man, because there's not a lot of games that are like that anymore, man. Like especially like couch co-op. It's really fun, man. Like I was my man's Snacks, whenever he comes through, and like we'll just sit down, we'll be playing games, and we sat down and played It Takes Two, and it was just great. Like it was just fun, like going back and forth, like, yo, What are you doing? Like, wait, man, get over here, man. Jump over, like, and raise this platform down so I can jump on it. All right, man, let me do it. And then we'll start fucking with each other. We'll be like, all right, jump on this thing. Be a little platform, like, jump on this thing. Oh man, that's my fault. My bad. Do it again. Oh man, all right, man. Fuck you. All right, man. Damn. Let's see. We got Split Fiction. Spider said, now that I think about it, you're probably right. Yeah. And like I said, when I say that, man, I don't want to absolve Nintendo. When I say this, bro, I'm saying Nintendo puts out very good products. They put out very good products. Sometimes they don't, for the most part, like they're batting about like 95% of the time where they're putting out a game that functions and is well designed. As far as the quality goes with that game can vary, and you can have your, opinions on this game or that game, but for the most part, if you stick a just regular game and then stick it in front of somebody and they with no like prior knowledge of Nintendo stuff, and they'll play it, they'll be like, yo, that's kind of dope. That'll happen. But like a lot of other games, like a lot of other companies do, and a lot of other studios do, man, they don't care, bro. They will put a game out and be like, we're sorry, but we got your money, so whatever. And you'd be like, bro, you're not even gonna fix this? Nope. You'd be like, what? Let's see. Let's go for Street Fighter 6. Now, I have Street Fighter 6. Again, this is one of those things where I can vouch for. When you start playing this game on handheld, dude, it's stupid fun, dude. It's just like, it's one of those things like it's magical. Like you're playing it and you're like, how do I play a game? How am I playing a game like this on handheld? This looks incredible. And there's so many features in this game that you can just go on forever. You can damn near play it forever. The whole player creator thing, the whole like online battle hub thing where inside the battle hub, I was just about to say that. I feel like I'm like piggybacking off it, but like inside the battle hub, you can play like old Capcom games and all that stuff. The fight in this game is incredible. Just watching other people online, like the pros and stuff go at it at this game. Really good stuff. But if you're looking for a decent fighting game, go for that game for Switch 2. Let's see what else. And then Yakuza 0. Where's my thing at? Yeah, come on. Let's show Yakuza 0. If I can find it. Yakuza 0. Did you game you want to live out your gangster dreams? This is a game you go to. I think I've only played one Yakuza game, but I know I've heard that this one is very good. This is like the first one, but like remastered. But it's kind of like I don't know if anybody's heard of Shenmue, but it's kind of like your Shenmue, only like turn up to like 11. But yeah, this is basically your action like type of game, action combat type of game, and you go around doing crime and all that, and you just gotta, if you're looking for a decent like run around the city, in an open city, follow the story with this crime syndicate and all that stuff, and like you pretty much getting revenge and all that stuff. You like those type of stories, you feel me? It's pretty wild. It's kind of like an evolution of like old beat 'em ups. You know what I mean? But there's another game. And then on top of it, let's see. I think that's all of the games for launch that you can get. Let me see. I believe those are all the games that I feel like are of note. There's like obviously like on this list, there's more games than that. I don't want to touch on every single game because like I just don't want to touch on every single game. But those are the games that I feel are of note, that are really good. And then besides that, which ones have I not touched? The ones that are getting ready to come up, I'm going to talk about those in a second. Let's see. Spider says Ubisoft doesn't make the same quality games as Nintendo in recent years, but still charges full price and puts microtransactions on them. Yeah, that's what I mean. You know what I mean? And Ubisoft, and like that's the thing too. Like it's one of those things where it's like you don't prioritize. You need somebody to prioritize what the people like. And Ubisoft has had two big issues. They put out too many games that are the same type of game, and people for the longest time. Or number two, people for the longest time keep telling them, "Hey, stop doing that." Make a game. For instance, for the longest time, everybody wanted Assassin's Creed. Like when Assassin's Creed was popping and it was on top of the world, everybody was like, "Yo, we want a Japanese Assassin's Creed game." You feel me? Give us an Assassin's Creed game, a Japanese Assassin's Creed game. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to do their own thing. You know what I mean? They didn't want to listen to anybody, no fans or nothing like that. And it was like, cool. So then once Ubisoft already decided, like way like decades later or like a decade later, they're like, oh yeah, guys, we got our own Japanese Assassin's Creed. Here it is. And it's like, yeah, we already have Ghost of Tsushima, so whatever. Dusty Bees, I'm hyped for Astoria Seasons The Grand Bazaar. LMAO not. What are you talking about? You're not excited for what was that one? Damn, I got rid of the list. Shit. Whatever, I got rid of the list. Fuck it. Yeah, there's a bunch of games that were on there I was looking at. I was like, nah, not the one. If you want to venture off on your own and like and kind of dig into those games, that's cool. But like a lot of those are like, yeah, no. Donkey Kong Bonanza. So let's get into the games that are upcoming. You feel me? That you should keep an eye out for. About a month after, and again, this is where people were talking about like, oh, the Switch 2 doesn't have any game. It's not gonna have any games to play. Okay. Donkey Kong Bonanza, check that out. There's your platformer. If you're like, I want a Nintendo made platformer, there's the one you want to go for. You feel me? I don't know what all it entails. I don't know why my subtitles are on. Maybe probably because I have it on mute. No. You want to change your caption settings? No, dismiss. Yeah, it looks solid, man. We haven't had a new Donkey Kong game in a very long time. So, this looks very intriguing and compelling and all that. And I'm like, you know, I'm very intrigued on like what all is going to be in it. Because it just looks like dumb fun, dude. And the fact that you can just dig, like I said, the fact you just dig in the ground and go all over the place or whatever. I want to see how much of that can you do. I know somebody out there is going to be like, destroy all the ground. Can I destroy all the ground? Maybe, possibly. I do not know. But I just want to know how much of the game this is. But again, this is also a $70 game too. So I'm like, I need to see what's all in it, man. And everybody keeps wondering like if the Mario team did this game, and I wonder if they did. But there's a Mario game lurking around at somewhere, man. I'm telling you, it's lurking around. It's right there. There's been way too many years have gone by without a 3D Mario. It's coming. Mr. Manmoist in the chat said, don't know all what it entails. Oh my, what? Don't know what it all entails. I don't like the entails part at the end. I don't like the in-tails part. I don't like that. I don't like the implications of that. Moist, you're gonna get somebody excited in here, all right? You're gonna get somebody who's gonna come through and see that and be like, oh, we're talking about that? No. Spider says, I bet Ubisoft only made a Japanese Assassin's Creed game after seeing the success of Ghost of Tsushima. Absolutely. They want to do it like again. That's exactly what happened. Honestly, God, that's what I think what happened. They saw that, and then they saw all these like Japanese inspired type of games, especially a lot of games coming from FromSoft. They saw a lot of those games and were like, oh yeah, let's do that. And everybody's like, we don't care. Y'all took too long. Stupid. Y'all wanted to buy into the whole, oh, there's only multiplayer. People only want to play multiplayer games. Moy says, also, your face is maximized? Oh, yeah. Oh, my face been maximized the whole time. Oh, my God. This whole time, my face been maximized. Wow. And ain't nobody tell me. Damn. That is crazy. That's crazy. It's been maximized the whole time. Dang. Y'all was supposed to see all the trailers. I'm not doing this again. I'll put videos in post. Like whenever I put out a shorter video and shorten this, I'll put the trailers on it. As much as we love your face, I figured people might want to see the games you're talking about. Well, that's what I thought too, but my preview window was down, so I didn't even see it the whole time because I had a drop in my stream dropped out of nowhere, and I was like, what the hell is going on? So I guess what I can do, damn, I don't got that website pulled up. So I guess here's what I will do then, if that's the case. Put this back up, and then I will just have these playing in the background. Boom. Fixed. I did it. We did it. But yeah, what was he talking about? Donkey Kong Bonanza? Yeah. Dang, my face was in front the whole time. I'm surprised people were still entertained though. Ooh, new FPS Metroid game. Oh yeah. I was just about to, let's actually, you know what? Let's talk about that then. Go to that. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This game was supposed to come out. On the Switch 1. And it's still coming out on Switch 1, but like they announced this game before the Switch 1 came out. And it took this long for this game to come out, and it's finally out. And I'm like, that's great. Great. I'm getting it on the Switch too. Yeah, like there's something about this. I'm gonna let this ride. Okay, all right. So now I'm gonna let it. After I'm done talking about everything, I'm gonna let it ride. Just so I can have some footage going on. I'll get to Pokemon and say, or actually, we just talking about Pokemon really. But it looks like another Metroid, and hopefully they'll show a lot more to it. You feel me? Hopefully they'll show a lot more to it, man. But I am hyped about Metroid though. It's criminal how like it just doesn't have an audience. It never has like a big enough audience, man. It never pans out. And I hope this one I hope this one sells well, because like Metroid deserves it, man. And there hasn't been a Metroid Prime in like a super long time, like a stupid long time. So it's like, bro, and it's in 4K, and it's like 120 frames per second. Like, dude, gotta play this game. And I played like if anybody has played the Metroid Prime Remastered, that game, it was like a whole new game. it was like the same game, but it was like a whole new game. But I'm interested in seeing like what power-ups there's gonna be and all that. What's going on with this bad guy that they brought back from Metroid Prime Hunters. I want to know what's going on with that. What's going on with this character? You know what I mean? Went back too far. What says, yeah, I can see that. I know Metroid Prime is well loved nowadays, but I feel like it wasn't anything super huge when it released. The thing is, amongst gamers, it is, but like for some reason, like the wider audience won't catch it, man. I don't know why. And like people will be like, yo, literally people will be like, yo, like Metroid, Super Metroid, like one of the greatest games ever made, bar none. And people will just won't latch on. I don't know what it is. I played Assassin's Creed Shadows and not bored really. I played Spider says I played Assassin's Creed Shadows and got bored really quick. That sucks. That's sucky. I didn't see enough. Like I said, they were asking for too much money, and I was just like, what does it do? And I was like, oh, it does the thing that a billion other games I've seen and played do. So I'm like, no, like I don't care. And I know other people had their own reasons for not liking it. I was just like, it looks boring to me. Moy said, I heard a lot of mixed stuff about Shadows. Yeah, man. Same thing with me, man. I was just like, I don't know, man. I just wasn't feeling it. It's just something about it. Like, again, it's one of those things where it's like it's Ubisoft games, man. Something about them are like just super generic, dude. It's just, and that's all I saw. I was just like, you know, everybody, people were like talking about like, oh, this black character and all this stuff or whatever, and then this chick or whatever, and I was like, I don't care about any of that. I'm like, she doesn't look interesting and he doesn't look interesting, and their story doesn't look interesting. So I'm like, I don't care. Let's see. What's next on the docket? Kirby Air Riders. I still can't believe this whole entire time I've been like, my face was in the way the whole time. What the heck is this like a little extra bar at the bottom? What is that? Whatever, we'll keep it. Kirby Air Riders. I honestly have never played Kirby Riders at all. Never played it ever in my entire life. But I feel like this is a good start because like everybody, when they saw this, everybody got super hype. Like ultra hype. They was like, oh my God, good Lord. So like maybe this is another racing game. There's like so many racing games coming out on the Switch too. It's kind of nuts. But this might be another one. So this is one I think you should keep an eye out for. Obviously it's made by Sakurai, so it's gotta be good, right? And he only makes his games better. Like he doesn't really backtrack like that. So we'll see what this one has to show. But I'll wait for like more trailers and all this stuff. But I am definitely interested in this. This is what I'm going to keep a lookout for. Boy says, yeah, Ubisoft has very much fallen into the trap of only making corporate safe AAA games. They don't take any risk or innovate anymore. Nope. And I think like the last game that they made was like Avatar. And I was intrigued by that. But I just, again, it's one of those things where like I just never came around to it, I think. But that was like the last game I saw where I was like, huh, this looks interesting. But aside from that, I was like, I've been like, not too sure about that. And they fall, like you said, yeah, they fall into that trap. That's why like they keep trying to get bought by everybody. They are kind of a sinking company at this point. And I know people can't believe it, but like it's happened before. Like this, I'm like, these companies aren't, a lot of times, man, I kind of don't understand why people will even really give them attention anymore, because there's so many studios nowadays that are coming up that are like, yo, we're showing our worth. And these other companies aren't really doing that anymore. So I'm like, why are we even giving them attention? If you have gone so long without making a really good game, why are we giving you attention anymore? Don't know why. Dusty B says, had Shadows come out after Black Flag, it would have been hype. Now it's a little too late. 100%. Because like I said, Leo, like Black Flag, because before Black Flag, wasn't it what, 3 came out before Black Flag, right? And people by Assassin's Creed 3 were kind of like, eh. You know what I mean? I remember that, like Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, people were like, yeah, that's dope. This is dope. And then 3 came out, people were like, eh. And Black Flag came out, everybody was like, yo, that's dope. And then right after that, people were like, what about Japanese one? Oh, you want this multiplayer? This is called Assassin's Creed Unity. This is where multiplayer, it's all multiplayer online. No, we don't want that. No, where's the Japanese one? Can we get the Japanese Assassin's Creed? Then they made like 5 other games after that weren't that. And then people were like, all right, well, y'all playing around. Yeah, I agree, Dusty. That would have been the best time for it. Yep. Spider, Yasuke from Assassin's Creed Shadow was a real person. Yeah, I heard about that. And then everybody, a bunch of uninformed people kind of were like, kind of jumping on people, the whole like, I don't want to get like super like topical, but like the whole like people who are like gung-ho about like things being woke, you know, were like, yeah, that's never happened before, and it was like, no, that was actually a thing that happened, that it's like historically there. Like, go look, that's actually a thing. Let's see, right? I feel like they're kind of in the same boat as Disney. They haven't come out with anything really groundbreaking in years, but they've still got enough money and notoriety to keep putting the mediocre releases constantly. That's starting to run dry. That money and that notoriety, both of them are dropping. They're dropping like a brick. So that's only going to carry them for so much longer. They need something. They were honestly like, they were banking everything on Assassin's Creed Shadows, and after that, I don't know, and it didn't really do that well. So I don't know what's going to happen with them now. Kind of scared for them a little bit. Not scared. I don't want to use that word. Keep an eye on them, because I'm like, y'all gonna make it? They're gonna start laying people off and all that stuff. Pokemon Legends EA, I think we kind of touched on this briefly, so I'll just touch it on a lot more brief. I'm interested, but I'm not excited just yet, and I need to see more from this game. I need to see more, man. After like I said, what we've been talking about with Pokemon, after I've seen the last couple of releases, man, I'm like, I don't know if I can really hop on board with that. The Dusk Bloods, keep an eye out for this one. I saw this game and I was like, this can't be Bloodborne. I was like, how in the hell did Nintendo grab Bloodborne before Sony did? But obviously it's not that. It's paying some type of cue from it or homage from it or something. But I'm intrigued. Again, this is another one of those games where I'm intrigued. Keep an eye out for it. But it's not a single player game. It's a PV. What is it? PvPvE? I think, maybe. I don't know. There's too many abbreviations for those. I don't know which ones are which. But you play with other people in this game, and then you all like kind of you fight the other. You all come together, kind of like Night Rain. Y'all all come together and then like carry out missions and all that stuff. Moy says, well, the issue is that the only record we have of Yasuke is that he was a banner bearer for Nobunaga, but there's nothing officially stating that he was ever a samurai. So it's a bit of a stretch to have him as the primary samurai pro tag for an Assassin's Creed game, especially strange when it's the first one set in Japan and they chose to split the focus rather than having one primary Japanese pro tag. That is kind of strange. I think that's a good highlight there. It's a good way to point that out. One thing I will say about the because like Assassin's Creed has obviously their whole shtick is like, I think it's fine for him to be a samurai. It's fine for him to be a samurai because like Assassin's Creed kind of like it's historically accurate, but not. So like they kind of stretch things all the time. So it's like it's fine. But I just remember people being like, yo, like I feel like Ubisoft did do that, and they kind of maybe walk back on it like, yo, we might need another person to like, this might not be a strong enough role to like go off of, so we need another character. Which is that is weird. Let's see. Yeah, Dustblood is going to be multiplayer PvPvE, so kind of like Night Rain. Yeah. We'll be curious to see how it goes. Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on it. I've always wanted to play Bloodborne again. And hopefully like this fucking raptor lizard dude is making me go like, yo, what in the hell? So I kind of want to check that out. I'm curious. And obviously, it's a FromSoft game, so it couldn't be, it can't be bad, right? You know what I mean? It can't be terrible. But Yasuke might have been a samurai, right? We don't know. Like I said, it's all legend, really. But we know that we know that there was definitely a black guy going around at that time. You feel me? But it did at some point. I mean, either or, regardless, it became a legend. You know what I mean? And the legend of that is the thing that they're trying to tap into. You know what I mean? Elden Ring. Speaking of Elden Ring, here it is. The biggest game ever. Not the biggest game ever, but it's pretty damn big. It's coming to Nintendo Switch. I have this game already. I have this game on handheld already. No, I don't. I don't have this game on handheld. So maybe I might get it on Switch. Maybe, possibly, maybe. But I think I might rather get this on my ROG Ally X. Dusty B said it's fine for him to be a samurai. I mean, in Assassin's Creed 2, you had Da Vinci giving you a plane. That never officially happened. Yeah. It's historically the stuff is there, but like obviously it's not 1-to-1. Because if it was 1-to-1, it'd be a boring game. Not saying that our history is boring, but like sometimes, you know, for video games you need a little bit more oomph. Moy says, dang, the ER is going to be able to run on Switch 2. Is ER going to be able to run on Switch 2? ER? Elden Ring? Yeah. Absolutely. They had trailers and all that stuff and everything. Like, yeah, it'll definitely be able to handle the Switch 2. Or the Switch 2 will definitely be able to handle it. The Switch 2 is substantially more stronger. Like it is like right below I think it's like the specs are like right below an Xbox Series X, like right below it. So it'll be able to handle it for sure. Like I said, I have the ROG Ally X, and I can pull off some incredible stuff on that thing. And mind you, it doesn't look the greatest, you know what I mean? But what it can do for a small handheld, like in a small form factor, you're like, dude, this is incredible, dude. Like what this can do. Let's see. That's crazy for a handheld. Yeah, dude. The handhelds are coming up, dude. Handhelds are coming up. Speaking of that, Moist, we got I said Assassin's Creed. We got Final Fantasy VII Intergrade coming. You feel me? Intergrade is coming, and they said all the other ones are going to come. So like, what's the second one called? Rebirth. Rebirth is coming, and then they said the third one might come too. And I'm like, yo, they can get Intergrade on here. Yeah. I'm like, how are they gonna get Rebirth on there? That's such a big ass game. It's such a humongous game. And I'm like, how are y'all gonna be able to? Will they be able to do that? And I think the biggest thing is that like all these games are like tailor made for the Switch. You know what I mean? So like they'll be able to develop them in a way where they'll be able to be functional on the Switch. But even the Switch 1 pulled off crazy stuff too, man. Like people are able to do it, man. If they got the drive to do it, man. Like Doom 2016 was on the original Switch, and it's like, how in the hell did y'all do that? How the hell did you do that? That's a whole Xbox One? Yeah, that's a whole Xbox One game, and y'all put that on the Switch, the Switch 1, and it works well. Already talked about Street Fighter, didn't I? Fine, it's fine. We can keep the footage going, so I can go back and have some footage, because I'm upset that I was talking this whole time and no footage was playing. So Yasuke might have been a samurai. We don't know for sure, like I initially thought. Yeah, we don't know for sure. But the point is that people are like, that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like there were people that were like, there were weird people that were like, why are we talking about a black guy in a Asian setting or whatever? That didn't happen. It was like, no, yes, it did happen. You know what I mean? Baseline that happened. But you know how the internet is, man. People start getting weird, and it's just like, whatever, just drop it. Let's see. I'm gonna let the whole Street Fighter thing play out. But is there any other games that we actually? No, I'm not. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 plus or 3 plus 4. I'm excited about Tony. I love Tony Hawk. I'm excited about Tony Hawk. This is like one of the best, like, you know, action sports games. And they recently brought it back, you know, with 1 plus 2. And I played the hell out of that game. So this one, I'm like, yo, 3 and 4, and 4 was like when the stuff started getting like way more open and it stopped being like level to level. So hopefully I think that they're kind of bringing that back a little bit. But I think they were mostly like, they're gonna try to keep the mission structure of like the original first 3 games. But who knows? We'll see. But Tony Hawk's stupid fun. People just love it and think they know everything when they really don't know shit. That's true. That's one thing I try to kind of check myself on a lot of the times, man, which is like one of the reasons why like I came to this channel, man. Like one thing when I made this channel, the thing I always tried to keep in mind was keep everybody's voice in mind, right? Even if I disagree, keep everybody's voice in mind and kind of try to see from that person's angle. Simply because I don't know everything, and I don't act like I know everything, but too many people online act like they know everything. You know what I mean? Even within video games, I'm like, I know a hell of a lot about video games, but there's a hell a lot about video games I don't know. So I'll never be like, you'll never hear me be like, yo, I know everything, unless I'm joking around. I know everything and you shut up. I know everything and you shut up. The only time I will ever do that is I'm like, I know what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're talking. Like if it's a factoid where I'm like, this absolutely 100%, 1000% happened. I know it happened. I saw it happen. I was there when it happened. That happened. You're wrong. Shut up. Moy says, yo, bro, Tony Hawk is a throwback. Yeah. And they're so good, dude. Like, it's just fun for no reason. I really miss games with like physics like that, where like physics is the forefront and like it's not entirely realistic, but it's just realistic enough to keep you like engaged. And you really got to like put a bunch, like you really got to like use your skill to like really make some things happen and like string together things, because otherwise you're just rolling and you're not really doing anything. It's kind of Sonic adjacent, which is why I like really like those games. Like, because like I really like Sonic games because of like they feel like I grew up liking pinball a lot, and I like the physics of pinball. So anything that is like some type of adjacent to that, where like you're using some type of rolling something to like get things going or get things moving, I love those type of things. Right, like if Mac tries to tell you something about Sonic, don't listen to him. He doesn't know nothing about that. Boys, you shut up. You shut up. I know about you. How about that? I know that you suck and you stink and you can't read good. Let's see. We got 2 more games, I believe. Last time I checked. Yep, 2 more games. And one of them I don't believe anything. Boy says, boy, you don't know me. You're right, boy. I've never met you ever in real life, ever. I never worked with you for like 5 years. Yuga Replayly. Do you like Banjo-Kazooie? Did you love Banjo-Kazooie? This is that game. Only this game came out a while ago, but this is a upgraded version of that. You know, because people had a lot of issues with the first game, but the developers went back and they were like, no, F that. We got something here, and we're gonna go back and, you know, touch the game up, not just graphics wise, but gameplay wise and level design wise. They were like, we're gonna go back and touch this up and make this a better game. So I'm all down for that. I like playing Banjo-Kazooie. I wish Microsoft would do something with Banjo-Kazooie for the love of God. But they suck. They don't suck. But they kind of suck. Bruh, you definitely don't want to be throwing accusations around about reading good with how often you struggle with Listen, look, man. There's two reasons why I do that. One, A. One, B. A. One. Okay? It's because I try to read fast, and sometimes I'm like, stop. You slow down. You need to slow down, or you're going to sound stupid. Right? And then two, sometimes y'all be writing stuff that I'll be like, what are you saying? I'll be like, look, punctuation, periods, all that stuff. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. Sometimes that happens, and I'll be like, I will say out loud, I'll be like, look, I know how to read well, and then I'll be like, I don't know what you just said. Also, I'll be playing games and stuff and all that stuff, so like, you know, reading, chatting, and playing games at the same time and all this stuff, man, is difficult. But yeah, you can replay Lee. It's one of those games I saw and I was like, yo, I want to check this out. Looks fun, looks good. I never played it, but I always was like, yo, I kind of want to see what's going on with this, man. And I just kind of got like mixed reviews when it came out, and it had Shovel Knight in it, so I love Shovel Knight, but that's not enough to get the game. You can't play Shovel. If you could play a Shovel Knight, oh, I would have been like, oh, we're definitely doing that. Put Shovel Knight in the game. And then the last game is Hollow Knight Silk Song, which I have all of 10 seconds. 10 seconds of footage. That's it. I don't believe Hollow Knight's gonna come out. I don't believe Hollow Knight's a real game. I don't believe Silk Song is a real game. You know what I mean? I'll believe it when it's out on the shelf at Best Buy or Walmart or Target. I'll believe it then, and then even then, I won't. I'm gonna open the case up and it's not gonna be there. Moy says, "What are you talking about, man? We don't need to worry about punctuation. It's totally not necessarily. You clearly just need to learn to read gooder." You're right. I need to learn to read gooder. Gosh, I need to learn how to say words better and do all those things better. Not better, gooder. Sorry, that's because gooder is the right way to say it. You're right. Yeah, sorry about that. Spider said, "You ever play Cuphead?" Absolutely, I've beaten Cuphead. I haven't beaten the DLC though. I always wanted to go back around to it, but like I gotta get my brain prepared to do that, because Cuphead is, everybody knows Cuphead is brutal. I want to, let's see, let me see something real quick, y'all. Let me go back to something real quick. Let's go. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Let's do this. Add this to the page. History. No. It's all YouTube. I don't want YouTube. I want the page that I was at. Where's the page I was looking up? Where is it? S Yakuza. Pariah. This is the page. Yep, there it is. I found the page again. All right, we can go out of this. And we can put this page back up. Let's see. Chris Thorndike said, "What's Cuphead?" Oh, buddy. I hope you're joking. I hope you're joking. Please don't make me feel that old. It can't be old. Cuphead can't be old like that. Cuphead cannot already be old like that. Cuphead is it is a Contra, like, well, I don't know if you're asking about Cuphead, I don't know if you know Contra. It's a run and gun type of game, but the art style is very 1930s, 40s, And it has a very unique art style. Actually, let's look it up right now. You feel me? Blue Cup. And then we're gonna go get out of here, Corey Kenshin. Yeah, Cuphead. Launch trailer for Cuphead. Here you go, Chris Thorndike, check it out. And while he's checking that out, I'll be reading other people. Oh, is the music playing? Whoops. There you go. Oh, Mac, did you ever play Astrobot? I know it's PS exclusive, but looks right up your alley, and I heard it was really good. Really good. I played the original Astrobot, not the PS Vita one, the first one that came on the PS5. I played that one, but not the newest one. I really want to play the newest one. But yeah, I don't have a PS5, so I just gotta wait for them to. I gotta wait for them to put it out on. I gotta wait for them to put them out on. Or is it out on PC yet? I don't think so. Let's see. All right, let me try and run through playing all these again, because I just completely just had my face over all of these. Let's see. Spider says Cuphead DLC is good. You'll like it. I played a little bit of it. I didn't go all the way through it because I was getting ready to start. I started it and I started playing it and I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is hard, man. So I was like, all right, let me refresh myself a little bit. And then I started playing a little bit of it and I beat like maybe the first 2 bosses, and then after that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come back to it, and then I never came back to it. So, but I'm going to get back to it because I love that game. At some point, I'm gonna come back to it. Moist says Cuphead isn't that old. Cuphead, Moist came out what? 2017? Yeah, kind of old. Yeah, Cuphead would be 8 years old now, almost a decade. Moist. Chris Thorndike said, "Oh, thanks, no problem." It's almost a decade old, Moist. You be sitting there thinking these things don't be. Breath of the Wild, same thing. It's almost a decade old. Breath of the Wild is almost a decade old. The Switch 1 is almost a decade old. Isn't that crazy? That's nuts. But yeah, I'm getting all these, like all the games that I've showed off. I'm getting a small percentage of those. Like I said, I'm very excited for Mario Kart. I'm very excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I definitely want to check out Fast RMX. Let's see what else. Metroid. I'm definitely excited to go back and see the Zeldas. Pokemon, I'm a little intrigued, but I need to see more proof of those. And then what else? I know I got more on my list. You feel me? Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. And Yooka Replay. I do really want to see what Yooka Replay is about. But yeah. Chris Thorndike said, I think I'm gonna head out. All right, man. Hey, thanks for popping in for a little bit, bro. Appreciate you, man. Moy says, oof, okay, yeah, that's kind of old. Stop reminding me that life is fleeting and death comes for us all. It's coming for us, Moist. It's happening. Okay? It comes for us all. Oroku Saki. At this point, I'm just playing background music or stuff in the background, so I'll go for just a little bit longer until all these stop playing. This is supposed to be a fun stream. Makes you feel old, doesn't it, Mr. Man Moist? Make me feel old. Shit. Tired of this, man. It's life be moving too fast, way too fast. You get in your 30s, bro. That shit starts double timing, dude. I'm like, yo, I need you to slow down just a tad. Let me catch up a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, anybody else out there? Is anybody else out there interested in getting a Switch, or are you getting a Switch? You know what I mean? Is it gonna happen, or are you thinking about getting it day one? Have you got one pre-ordered? Are you gonna get it day one? Are you gonna get it a little bit after? You're gonna wait for everything to die down? Are you gonna wait now later down the line and be like, I'll get it later down the line? Or are you like, yo, this thing is too expensive, screw Nintendo, F that. Moy says, oh, Deltarune, I've heard of that vis-a-vis Undertale, but never actually seen it. I don't like that you use the word vis-a-vis. Vis-a-vis. That felt very like Matrix 2, Matrix Reloaded architect. And I was like, hold on, man. This dude, I was like, Moy's got hyper smart on me. Nah, Switch 2 and games are too expensive for me, I think. Plus, I got my new gaming PC last year. See, that makes sense. It's all about what you prioritize. Like, if you, you've always been like that too. Like, you never, like, Moise, you've never been like a handheld guy, really. As far as I know, I've always seen, like, every time I, see you game, I've always seen you, like, you always play in console. Or you, as far as I remember, like, you've always played console. I've always played console too, and I think when I was younger, man, I always, man, there was, like I said, I think I've said this before to people, but like, I've always been intrigued by the handheld console prospect. And like, ever since I was a little kid, like, my parents got me. In the United States, there was a game system that came out called the Sega Nomad, and it was, I swear to you, it was just a Sega Genesis version of the Nintendo Switch. You could play it in handheld. You can take the cartridge, slap it in the handheld. You could play handheld or play it on the TV. And it was like, once I seen that, I was like, yo, this is where everything is headed. And for the longest time, that did not happen. I was like, well, I was wrong. Until the Switch came out, and I was like, oh, we're back. So ever since the Switch came out, and then all these like PC companies, they were like, we're making handhelds and stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm all for it, dude. Spider says Zelda movie's coming out in 2027. Yes, I am. Didn't this song just played? I'm gonna figure out what's going on my playlist. Something's going on with my playlist. Yeah, Zelda movie's coming out in 2027. I need to see a trailer. That's all I have to say about it. That's all I gotta say. It's the same thing with the Mario movie. Like, when I first heard the Mario movie, I was like, I don't know, dude. But then I was like, it's Nintendo. They're not gonna let it go wrong. Like, it's not gonna let. It's not like back in the day. I was like, they're not gonna let that go off the rails. It'll be fine. I think the same thing's gonna happen with Zelda, but I'm still kind of like, it's gonna be live action too. I'm like, how's that gonna work? I'm like, we gotta make sure you put a lock on that, man. Moy said, I was gonna say, what's wrong with vis-a-vis? Yeah, I've definitely been more of a console. Yeah, vis-a-vis. I was just messing with you. This was one of those, like, you use you don't normally hear people say vis-a-vis, so that's why I was like, oh shit, you use vis-a-vis in a sentence. Oh fuck. Yeah, I've definitely been more of a console player. Played Game Boy a good bit when I was younger, and I had a 3DS for Pokemon X and Y and Monster Hunter. But otherwise, I was on Xbox 360, PS3, and PS4. I finally got a Switch for Breath of the Wild and Monster Hunter Rise, but not for like 3-4 years after it had already been out. I'm somewhat a Nintendo fan, but not enough that Switch 2 is a must buy for me the same way that it is for you. Yeah. Switch 2 is a must buy in the sense that I'm like, I need to have Switch has always been, so Nintendo has always been like this for me. For my whole life, like I played console games. Like I kind of followed what my brother and my dad got, you know what I mean? And you know, we had Sega Genesis, and then we moved on to like the Xbox, and like, or we had Sega Genesis and Sega Saturn and Sega Dreamcast, and then Xbox, and so on and so forth. And then at some point, the Nintendo stuff started coming in. Whenever I felt like there was it was a lot of things where like I grew up playing Sonic games, right? And then when there were Sonic droughts, I was like, I want to play something that feels like Sonic. And that's when Mario came in. And Nintendo has always been like that kind of a backup for me. Like it's kind of like a gaming net safety. It's like a gaming safety net for me. Just in case like everything, like when I'm looking at all these other gaming companies going wrong and all this stuff, whatever. And as much as Nintendo drives me up a wall, like I said, their games are like safety nets where it's just like, I know I'm going to play this thing and it's going to be fun. At a base level, it's gonna be. I'm gonna have an enjoyable time with this. So that's all it is for me, man. These videos aren't playing. I stopped playing the videos. I went on a whole rant. But yeah, that's all Nintendo has ever been for me, man. It's just a safety net. So I'm like, I've always been a fan of it because like I just have a respect for it. But I'm not a die-hard fan for it. Like when it goes that like again, like when the Wii U came out and shit, I bought the Wii U at launch and then nothing came, and I was like, get this out of my face. I was like, I'm not playing this. That's garbage. So sometimes, every once in a while, man, Nintendo will make some nonsense, and I'll be like, come on, man. Spider said coffee is so good. What Spider, what is this thing about you and coffee? You guys have such like like interesting quirks about you, man. What's her name? Jess will come in, man, and start talking about like her you know, Sonic character, her like shadow Sonic character, and then Spider comes in with his coffee talk. Moist will come in and he can't read. Moist will come in and start just causing and start wreaking havoc. Just enough. Moist says, well, that's just who you are as a person too. Even though you're a huge Sonic fan, you're never afraid to call out. You're never afraid to call it out when it's bad. Same with Nintendo. Yeah. Yeah, man. Cause it's just all it's never I don't me Havoc never. I don't know, man. Like I don't care for I don't have a allegiance to anything really. I'll be a fan of something, but I don't really have like a diehard, like I just can't not go out without this thing. Like if something's bad, man, like it's all a matter of, it's a case by case basis. It's always like, if it's bad, it's bad. And you know, if that's all there is to it, like if I'm playing something, I'm like, it could be something that completely like, I'm just not having fun with it. And then I'll be like, there may be a whole hell of a lot of reasons why, but I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm just not having fun. Don't want to play it. But yeah, same for me. I think more people should have that viewpoint. Yeah. And I kind of do that with like everything, man, where it's like, I also try to see from other people's angles too, all the time. And like I said, when I made this channel, that's kind of what I want this channel to be, is like, there's a lot of people in like this. It sounds silly because I'm like, it sounds silly, but just ride with me. There's like, I'll for a long time, I was in the Sonic community and then I like hopped out of it, and then I came back in after a long time and started looking at what everybody was talking about. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is everybody's like super divided to the point where like you can't even like really talk to each other at all. And you need, there's an absence of people that used to be around. There's an absence of people who can like sit down and really like think on both sides of the spectrum. Because people just don't want to do that. People want to be like, my opinion is right and that's it, and don't really want to listen to nobody else. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Never be so in love with something that you're unwilling to see and accept its faults, especially because the more you apologize and ignore the issues in a franchise, the less likely it is to improve and fix those problems, which means that quality will diminish over time if you let it. That's just a life lesson that you just said. That's just a life lesson. That's a straight up just period. You better listen to Moist. He be dropping gems. All right, we got Hogwarts Legacy. How many more videos are there that I skipped? Zelda, the whole Zelda. Very excited for Zelda. Like I said, I'll play this whole thing over again. Both of them. And I got the little books. And I got the books. I am a diehard for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I will say that. I love the hell out of these games. And I'm like, I'll play these again. Not only will I play them again, like I said, I got the like master books and stuff, and I never really used them all the way like that. And when this game come out, I'm using every single function, feature, all that. Also, I need to play Tears of the Kingdom 2 again because like I need to play Tears of the Kingdom again because like when I played it, there was a glitch at the beginning at the like when the game first launched. There was a glitch in the game that lets you duplicate a bunch of stuff, and the whole game, the entire game, I was like, look, and then Nintendo patched it up, but I didn't update my game before they patched it up, so I was like, look, here's what the hell I'm about to do. I was like, I'm duplicating everything. I was like, I'm duplicating all diamonds. I was like, all I need to do is go out and find one diamond, and that's it. And I found one diamond, and I was like, duplicate it. I was like, duplicate it. And the whole time, dude, no matter where I came across, dude, anywhere in the whole game, somebody was like, you gotta pay this much money. I was like, I got it. I was like, they were like, oh, you gotta spend $1 billion for this suit. I was like, I'm good for it. Moy says, I mean, my opinions are always, of course. Okay, of course. My opinions are always right, obviously, but I'm always willing to listen to someone else's wrong opinions, you know, to be polite. Yeah, sure. Sure. Now, I'm trying to think of something that you said that I've railed up against. Well, first and foremost, you know, you said people didn't want to see my face. At one point you said that, and I'm like, you know, that's factually incorrect. Factually incorrect. You know what I mean? I just have such a beautiful face, and everyone, you know, people just, you know, they see it, they fall in love, and I tell them like, you know, my heart is with another, and they're like, Moy says, I still haven't played Tears of the Kingdom actually, and technically I never beat Breath of the Wild. Man, you should go back to them. They're really good, especially Tears. Tears is like leaps and bounds better than Breath of the Wild. There's a lot of people online that say that Breath of the Wild is better, and I'm like, that's nostalgia. That is 100%. I'm like, I love Breath of the Wild, I really do, but I'm like, Tears of the Kingdom is on a whole, like, it's on a whole different level. It makes Breath of the Wild feel like it's a tech demo. Honest to God. And I was like, I don't know how, you know, like I remember before it came out, everybody was like, how is this going to, they were like, how is this game going to be better than, I don't get it. Like, how is this game going to be better? And I was like, dude, they did it. More Tears of the Kingdom stuff. Okay. Let's go. Mario Kart World. Even if I do like sand this down, I'm gonna wait till I get to the 2 hour mark. Or okay, 2:10. I'm gonna wait till I get to 2:10. So we got about 10 minutes left. Moy says, oh really? Yeah, I heard that Tears of the Kingdom was just as good as Breath of the Wild, but I don't think I heard a lot of people saying it was undeniably a straight upgrade. Here's what listen, just take my word for it, okay? And you haven't beaten Breath, so it's one of those things where I think people were, it's two things. I think people are very nostalgic for Breath of the Wild, and I think that there were a lot of people that played a lot of Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom came out, and it felt a little bit similar, and then people were like, yeah, I'm burnt out on Breath of the Wild, and then they were like, well, Tears of the Kingdom isn't really that much better. But it's like, yeah, but you've been playing Breath of the Wild for like to the lead up to this game, you've been playing a hell of a lot of Breath of the Wild, so like, yeah, you're gonna be burnt out. It's not that. And people kind of attribute that, and they're like, oh, Tears isn't that much better. And it's like, no, you're just burnt out on, you've been playing like 100 hours of Breath of the Wild, so when you get 2, it's the same damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's Tears of the Kingdom, I will say, Alex, if you play Breath of the Wild, right? Play Breath of the Wild, beat Breath of the Wild, right? And then wait a long time. And then if you're ever like, and wait a long time after that, and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna go in and play Tears of the Kingdom. I would not recommend playing them back to back, is what I will say. I don't recommend them playing them back to back, because both of them they're just both big games, right? But having said that, Tears of the Kingdom is in every metric better than, in every aspect better than Breath of the Wild. In every aspect. Nostalgia goggles are definitely a thing, yeah. Because like, again, like a lot of people also haven't beaten Tears of the Kingdom. Like they haven't beaten it, and I'm like, I have beaten it, and I'm like, yeah, this game is like substantially better than Breath of the Wild. I really can't think of another one. I think the one thing that I can think of that I like in Breath of the Wild better than Tears of the Kingdom is like Rivali's Gale, which is basically like when you get one of the sages, when you get one of their like power-ups, there is a power-up that lets you, like in Breath of the Wild, that lets you shoot straight up, right, into the air, and then you can just kind of float from there, right? And I think there's no real like power-ups that happen in Tears of the Kingdom that are like that, and that's the only thing that I'm like Breath of the Wild does better. Other than that, like literally everything in Tears of the Kingdom does it better. And then on top of it, in Tears of the Kingdom, like they have this thing where like anything that's like right directly above you, you can get a power up that where you can like jump through. You can just jump through like any type of like solid surface. So like if you see something, if you're looking up and you see something and there's like a roof over your head or some type of ceiling or anything like that, if you have the power up, you can just jump right through it. Like you use a power up and it'll just go right through that thing, and it's crazy. What's the next video? I think that was it. I played a little bit of split fiction. I said something about split fiction. Yeah, we'll do 30 seconds of that. I need B footage. I need to capture all my B footage. It sucks because I was like, oh damn. I was like, I'm like going along, and then Moise came through and was like, yo, your face is just on screen. Oh shit. I remember Rivali's Gale. Yeah, Rivali's Gale. Yeah. That's the only thing. The game doesn't have that. It has power-ups and stuff, but it doesn't have Rivali's Gale. And that's the only one. I love just jumping up and then just jumping up in the air and going. But there's something similar like that. Like I said, where you can just look up at a roof and then you can just jump up. My playlist is absolutely playing the same songs over, and it's pissing me off. Why is it playing the same songs over? I'm about to figure this out right now on screen. Oh, no, it's not. It's just going through the list. Never mind. I don't even remember playing any of Sonic 2 at all. Whatever. I'll split your fiction. Pause. I don't know about all that. I don't want nobody splitting my fictions. Also, I didn't get any of the B footage of Street Fighter. Here comes a new challenger. Yeah, if I didn't already have this for the ROG Ally X, I would definitely get this on Switch too. But I already have a way of playing this game. And playing it at like I think it might be on par. I don't know, I haven't played the Switch version yet, but the way I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's kind of on par with how the Ally X looks. Monster Hunter Wilds just released their Street Fighter 6 collab. They did? I didn't even hear about that. What did they do? What did they do? Ask them like skins or something? That should be enough of that. Oh, that's it. Is there anything in my YouTube that I was playing that Alex, when did you come through? When did you come through and when did you come through and you were like, yo, your head's in the way? Yeah, you can dress Alma, your handler, up as Chun-Li or Cammy. Okay. Okay, yeah, so it's like, yeah, outfits and stuff. Playlists. This one. I don't know, I couldn't see what was playing. Damn it, Alex. You're no help. My head was in the way the whole time. Ain't doing bullshit. All right, I'm looking back. Okay, Breath of the Wild, Puyo Puyo. Generations, it was there. It didn't come back until the light. I didn't move my head until Metroid. So I don't know what I got. Oh well, that sucks. Anyway, actually they did make it so you can do a bunch of Akuma's fighting moves and stuff too, so which is pretty unique. Oh yeah, I think I saw that. Like he was in I saw him in it and I was like, what the hell? I was like, why is Akuma in Monster Hunters? Oh, you were talking about, yeah, you were talking about Donkey Kong when I came in. Yeah. Forget it. I'll figure it out later. This was supposed to be smooth, easy transition, but I'll figure it out. If I decide, even if I decide to like shave down this video and make it a smaller video, if I decide to do that, then I will. But I think we're going to end the stream. We are what, 208? Yep, we're going to end the stream there. Let's see. Yeah, so I might shave this video down to a 10-minute video, 20-minute video, but I'm honestly like with everything, like now I'm like, I don't know where everything's at. Probably won't do that. Crap. Shave down your eyebrows. What you talking about? What you gotta say about my eyebrows, man? The ladies love my eyebrows, so I will not be shaving my eyebrows down. I'll give you $20. No. I need more money than that. Send me more money, I'll do it. You give me $100, I'll shave my eyebrows. That might be too low. You must have me looking like a no, this is not right. What's a good comparison? I don't know. I can't think of anything right now. He said 21. No. Don't send me any money. I don't want your eyebrow shaving money. That's more. I need like $100 at least. Cause I ain't about to have people come to my stream making fun of me over some eyebrows. Wow. All right, I'm gonna call it. I think I have enough footage. I might do this or not later down the line, possibly. I don't know for sure. I might make a short of this though, but I think I'm gonna call it. I'll be here tomorrow. We'll be streaming Wednesday. I want to say for sure Wednesday. Actually no, midnight Thursday at midnight. Everybody would be like, you look surprised. Midnight Thursday, I will have the Switch 2, and I will be streaming probably around like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to be going until I get tired. Moy says, all right, see you, man. Hey, see you later, man. I appreciate you coming through. I'll be streaming. I'll get the thing. I will unbox it and I will set it up, and I will be playing Mario. I will look through it and play around with it, and I will be playing Mario Kart World, and I'll just be going. I'll just go until I fall asleep. You know what I mean? So that is Thursday. So if anybody's gonna be awake or people across the pond, if you're able to check me out, I'll be up. Like, you'll see me in the middle of the day. You feel me? Moy says, I don't think I'll be up for that. I don't blame you at all whatsoever. I'm only doing this because, like I said, I'm doing it so I can try to like catch the algorithm and all that. I know a lot of like streamers and stuff are going to be doing it, so I'm going to try and do it and try to get some views, get some more people looking at my channel. You feel me? But yeah, I'll be up for a while doing that, and then at some point I'll fall asleep, and then I'll wake up and do it all over again. So that's going to be the indecent time of streaming, and then I'll stream more at a more decent time. You feel me? But anyway, thank you everybody for checking me out. If you like what you've seen, like, comment, subscribe, you know what I mean? Share it with everybody, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm very close. I'm almost at 900, man. I need 3 people. I think 2 people. I need 2 people. 2 people subscribe. 2 people subscribe. You feel me? And then on top of it, like I said, if you want to support Monthly Gamer, go into my description, and I have my payment options down there. You feel me? Like I said, I got PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Patreon. Patreon is the subscription service. If you want to go there, drop $1 for the thank you tier. That's great. If you want me to play any game you want me to play, as long as I can have access to it and I can get it, I will play it. That tier is $5. All right. Everybody understand? Everybody get it? Cool. Once again, thank you for watching. This has been Monthly Gamer. Peace out.